Nelson Chamisa has always been a prominent figure in Zimbabwean politics, but 2025 finds him in a new phase of life. As a seasoned lawyer, former presidential candidate, and once the leader of the Citizens Coalition for Change, Chamisa has left an indelible mark on his country's political landscape. Recently, he shifted gears, stepping away from party leadership in 2024, yet speculation swirls about his return to public life. Beyond politics, his career, lifestyle, and financial journey continue to spark interest, with his estimated net worth now standing at $6 million. This post explores his evolving story, giving you insight into the man behind the headlines. Nelson Chamisa's rise to prominence. Nelson Chamisa's name resonates strongly in Zimbabwean politics, representing hope and resilience for many. From his formative years to becoming a prominent figure on the political stage, his journey encapsulates the story of a driven individual fighting for change in a challenging environment. This section explores his early life, education, political milestones, and the defining achievements and challenges that have shaped his career. Early life and education. Born in Gutu, Zimbabwe, on February 2, 1978, Nelson Chamisa grew up in a modest household where education was seen as a path to empowerment. His academic journey began in rural schools, but his ambitions quickly outgrew the confines of his early environment. Chamisa pursued higher education at Harare Polytechnic, obtaining a diploma in marketing and eventually earning a law degree from the University of Zimbabwe. These formative years shaped his worldview. It was here that Chamisa honed his skills in debate and leadership, laying the groundwork for his later career. His time as the president of the Zimbabwe National Students' Union was a key stepping stone, displaying his ability to rally others and stand firm in his beliefs. Many credit this period for forging his commitment to justice, accountability, and democracy. Political career highlights. Chamisa's transition into politics began early, fueled by his relentless passion for activism. As a young leader, he played an instrumental role within the Movement for Democratic Change, a party formed to challenge the long-standing rule of ZANU-PF. Rising quickly through the ranks, he became one of the youngest parliamentarians at just 25 years old in 2003, representing the Kawajana constituency. From 2009 to 2013, during the power-sharing government, Chamisa held the position of Minister of Information and Communication Technology. His tenure was marked by efforts to modernize Zimbabwe's ICT infrastructure, making him widely respected for his vision and efficiency in the role. In 2018, Chamisa stepped into the global spotlight as he contested the presidential election against Emmerson Mnangagwa. Running as the MDC alliance leader following the death of Morgan Tsvangirai, Chamisa became Zimbabwe's youngest ever presidential candidate. Though he officially lost in the election amidst controversy over alleged irregularities, his boldness and charisma earned him a massive following, particularly among the youth. The 2022 formation of the Citizens Coalition for Change marked a new chapter for Chamisa. Emerging amidst disputes within the MDC, CCC quickly positioned itself as the main opposition party. Chamisa's ability to mobilize public support helped the CCC become a formidable force, despite limited resources and significant political hurdles. His leadership style, charismatic and persuasive, made him a key contender in the 2023 elections. However, accusations of electoral manipulation and strategic ambiguity often clouded his campaigns. Key achievements and challenges. Throughout his career, Chamisa has amassed a list of notable achievements. His tenure as an ICT minister is often highlighted as one of his significant contributions to Zimbabwe's development, while his advocacy for political reform continues to inspire many. His ability to energize Zimbabwe's youth speaks volumes about his relatable persona and forward-thinking vision. That said, his journey has not been without challenges. In 2018, following the disputed presidential election, Chamisa filed an appeal with the Constitutional Court, seeking to overturn the results. Though his petition was dismissed, it underscored his willingness to confront systemic issues in his country's electoral process. He has also faced accusations, from both allies and opponents, about a lack of organizational structure within his leadership. Critics have pointed to moments where his party appeared fragmented or unprepared to handle political battles effectively. Frequent interference by the ruling party and limited access to state media have further hindered his efforts. Despite these obstacles, Chamisa continues to advocate for democracy and better opportunities for Zimbabweans. His efforts to propose ambitious plans, such as tackling Zimbabwe's brain drain and promoting accountability, show his persistence in remaining a voice for change. This narrative of triumphs and trials paints a picture of a leader who, despite numerous roadblocks, refuses to walk away from the fight for a better Zimbabwe. Nelson Chamisa's lifestyle in 2025. Nelson Chamisa's lifestyle in 2025 mirrors a man who has transitioned from being a dominant political contender to embracing a broader personal and professional outlook. Known for his charisma and unwavering faith, his life continues to captivate supporters and audiences alike. In this section, we take a closer look at the family, hobbies, and interests that define Chamisa's everyday life beyond the public spotlight. Family and personal life. Nelson Chamisa remains a family man at heart, often emphasizing the importance of home and faith in shaping his values. He is married to Sifikozel Chamisa, a professional with a strong academic background, who has been a pillar of support in his challenging public life. Together, they have 3 children, and Chamisa is known for showcasing gratitude for his role as a father. He often mentions his family during his public appearances, reflecting the stability and grounding he finds at home. The balance between family and politics has been an ongoing challenge. As a prominent figure in Zimbabwe, Chamisa faced periods of absence from home during his political campaigns. However, stepping away from active party leadership in 2024 has allowed him more time with his loved ones. Friends and sources close to him have noted that he prioritizes family dinners and dedicates weekends to bonding with his children, an effort to reclaim the moments lost in years past. Being an ordained pastor and deeply religious, Chamisa's faith influences his role both as a husband and father. He frequently shares Bible verses on social media and publicly thanks God for all aspects of his life. This spiritual foundation has not only shaped his ethical outlook but also serves as a North Star in his personal decisions. For Chamisa, family represents both a sanctuary and a reflection of the values he hopes to nurture within Zimbabwe. Hobbies and interests. Outside politics, Chamisa's hobbies and interests bring balance and relaxation to his otherwise public and professional life. A self-described tech enthusiast, he has long advocated for digital transformation, not just in governance but also as part of his personal curiosity. He keeps up to date with the latest gadgets and enjoys experimenting with emerging technologies as a leisure activity, often linking his personal interests to his broader vision for modernization. Music also plays an essential role in his life. Chamisa has an affinity for gospel music, often citing it as a source of motivation and solace. On social platforms, he's been known to share playlists or reference songs that inspire him during tough times, connecting with his followers on a relatable level. In addition to gospel, he is a fan of traditional Zimbabwean music, which serves as a nostalgic reminder of his roots. Chamisa also enjoys outdoor activities. Gardening and tending to plants have become mindful pastimes for him, helping him unplug from the demands of public life. He sees gardening as a metaphor for leadership. Planting seeds and nurturing them to fruition echoes the patience and effort required to see transformation both at home and within a nation. Sports are another arena where Chamisa finds joy. Soccer remains his favorite, and he avidly follows both local and international matches. On occasion, he participates in community matches, connecting with ordinary citizens through shared enthusiasm for the game. His involvement in soccer humanizes him and cements his reputation as someone who values community culture. For Chamisa, 2025 is as much about realigning with his personal passions as it is about reflecting on his political journey. Whether he's spending time with his family, indulging in his hobbies, or grounding himself spiritually, his lifestyle paints a picture of a man who remains committed to building not just a better nation but also a meaningful life for himself and his loved ones. Analyzing Nelson Chamisa's net worth. Nelson Chamisa's financial journey captures just as much curiosity as his political career and public life. With an estimated net worth of $6 million in 2025, Chamisa's wealth is modest when compared to other prominent Zimbabwean political figures, yet it reflects a diverse set of income streams and a life lived in the public eye. To better understand how Chamisa has built his fortune, we'll break it down into key components, provide comparisons, and explore public perceptions about his financial standing. Sources of income. Nelson Chamisa's wealth largely stems from a combination of his work as a lawyer, his political roles, and any lesser-known investments or ventures, though details about the latter remain vague. 1. Legal career. Chamisa's foundation in law has played a significant role in building his earnings. As an attorney, he has practiced in areas that align with his passion for justice and accountability. While specific legal endeavors are not publicly detailed, his background as a lawyer likely commands respect and a steady stream of cases, contributing significantly to his financial base. 2. Political roles. Politics, particularly in Zimbabwe, frequently entangles with personal wealth. During his tenure as Minister of Information and Communication Technology from 2009 to 2013, Chamisa oversaw key modernization initiatives, earning both accolades and criticism. Additional roles, such as his leadership in the Movement for Democratic Change and later the Citizens Coalition for Change, position him as a central figure with access to fundraising opportunities, allowances, and compensation tied to his positions. 3. Public speaking and advocacy. Chamisa has carved out a reputation as one of Zimbabwe's most compelling speakers. While mostly linked to his political endeavors, his oratory skills and public presence may have opened doors to paid speaking engagements, both locally and internationally, adding another small but notable source of income. 4. Investments. Unlike some Zimbabwean politicians with vast business empires, Chamisa's tangible investments are less publicized. However, his relatively modest, but still significant, net worth suggests potential involvement in real estate or other low-profile investment ventures. Speculation includes ownership of properties or business partnerships, though hard evidence remains thin. Together, these avenues illustrate a picture of measured, steady earnings rather than immense wealth accumulation. Comparison with other Zimbabwean politicians. To truly understand Chamisa's net worth, it's essential to place it within the context of Zimbabwe's political elite. Many high-ranking officials boast fortunes that dwarf Chamisa's earnings, often tied to vast business portfolios or resource-heavy sectors like mining and agriculture. Emmerson Mnangagwa, estimated net worth around $10 billion, largely attributed to vast business interests across mining and agriculture. Mnangagwa's financial clout reflects not just political power but extensive private ventures. Constantino Chiwenga, with a fortune reportedly exceeding $5.5 billion, Chiwenga's wealth includes numerous properties, extensive government connections, and rumored stakes in high-value businesses. Grace Mugabe, estimated at $5 billion, primarily from real estate holdings and business assets, reflecting the Mugabe family's entrenched legacy of wealth. Philip Xiangwa, known for a fortune linked to real estate, telecommunications, and manufacturing, Xiangwa's net worth remains undisclosed but is widely considered among the top earners in the country. Compared to this elite group, Chamisa's $6 million is modest, underscoring his focus on governance and public service rather than amassing personal wealth. His net worth positions him as more relatable to his supporters, many of whom see him as a stark contrast to the excesses often associated with Zimbabwean political leadership. Controversies and public discussion. No public figure can escape scrutiny, and Nelson Chamisa is no exception. Conversations around his wealth circle back to questions of transparency, leadership style, and his departure from the CCC. 1. Transparency concerns. As someone advocating for democratic principles and accountability, Chamisa faces heightened calls for financial transparency. Some critics question the sources of his income, pressing for disclosure of potential investments and assets. Though no concrete accusations have surfaced, public figures in Zimbabwe are frequently subject to corruption allegations, even unfounded ones. 2. Lifestyle choices. Despite his relatively modest net worth compared to peers, Chamisa's lifestyle is a periodic topic of debate. Supporters view him as a grounded leader who balances family and public responsibilities. However, detractors have pointed to moments of apparent flashiness, citing his cars or housing as inconsistent with his political messaging. 3. Departure from CCC leadership. Stepping down in 2024 brought fresh scrutiny to Chamisa. While some interpret this as a strategic pause, others see it as an opening for fresh questions about his priorities, whether they lean toward legacy building, business ventures, or other pursuits outside active politics. Public debates about Chamisa's wealth highlight the delicate balance he walks as someone aiming to appear both relatable and influential. His financial standing, neither overwhelmingly vast nor unreasonably small, continues to fuel interest in who he is beyond his public persona. Without doubt, Nelson Chamisa's net worth and financial trajectory remain pivotal to understanding his broader story. Nelson Chamisa's vision for the future. Nelson Chamisa, long recognized as a beacon of hope for many in Zimbabwe, continues to project his vision for a transformed country. As a political and thought leader, he prioritizes reform, both political and economic, to establish a foundation where Zimbabwe thrives as a modern, self-sufficient nation. Here's a deeper look at Chamisa's strategic outlook, focusing on his advocacy for political reform and his economic policies aimed at reviving the nation's prospects. Advocacy for political reform. Chamisa has been vocal about Zimbabwe's need for transformative political reform, taking aim at what he views as systemic government interference and a lack of accountability. Throughout his career, especially as the leader of the Citizens Coalition for Change, he pushed to dismantle entrenched mechanisms of state control. His focus has been ensuring free and fair elections, combating voter suppression, and introducing safeguards to limit the overreach of state institutions. Zimbabwe's political environment remains fraught with challenges, amplified by allegations of electoral manipulation and suppression of dissenting voices. To address this, Chamisa advocates for several key changes. Independent institutions. Chamisa envisions a judiciary and election commission free from political influence. He has repeatedly called for electoral reforms, including transparent voter registration processes and equitable access to state resources, particularly the media. Coalition for Change. Recognizing the power of unity, Chamisa continues to champion coalitions among opposition groups. His leadership in forging alliances reflects his understanding that collective effort is critical in countering the domination of ZANU-PF. Youth mobilization. A large part of Chamisa's strategy involves energizing Zimbabwe's youth. He believes their participation is vital to pushing for democratic reforms and shaping a future aligned with their aspirations. Anti-corruption drive. Tackling corruption is central to Chamisa's platform. He has criticized the government's opacity, advocating for increased transparency and accountability at all levels of governance. According to him, combating corruption would unlock resources currently lost to graft, redirecting them to public services and infrastructure. Chamisa's reforms emphasize inclusivity, rule of law, and ethical governance, aiming to rebuild trust between the government and the people. Despite facing significant opposition and obstacles, his proposals continue to resonate widely, particularly with younger generations seeking systemic change. Economic policies and plans. At the heart of Chamisa's vision is a prosperous Zimbabwe, one that sheds its dependency on external aid to become an economically self-reliant nation. He frequently speaks about what he calls the prosperity model, a framework designed to harness Zimbabwe's abundant natural and human resources to fuel widespread economic growth. Chamisa's economic agenda centers on 1. Agriculture-driven growth. Chamisa understands the vital role agriculture plays in Zimbabwe's economy. He advocates for policies that modernize farming practices, expand access to agricultural financing, and improve infrastructure such as roads and irrigation systems. A significant part of his plan includes making Zimbabwe a food surplus nation, exporting crops to generate foreign currency while ensuring food security locally. 2. Industrialization and value addition. Diversifying Zimbabwe's economy to reduce dependency on raw material exports is another central pillar. Chamisa has stressed the importance of investing in industries that add value to the country's raw resources, such as manufacturing finished goods from minerals and agricultural products, creating jobs and boosting productivity. 3. Progressive public services. Chamisa envisions self-funded healthcare and accessible, high-quality education for all Zimbabweans. He sees these as non-negotiable pillars for a thriving nation, with economic reforms generating the necessary revenue to sustain these services. 4. Investment in technology. Technology, much like agriculture, is key to Chamisa's economic blueprint. Having previously served as Minister of Information and Communication Technology, he consistently supports the use of technology to modernize systems, increase efficiency, and improve accessibility for citizens. Tech solutions and governance. 5. Favorable business environment. To attract both foreign and local investors, Chamisa calls for policies that stabilize the economy. This includes fighting inflation, simplifying tax systems, and ensuring property rights protection, moves intended to rebuild confidence in Zimbabwe as a destination for investment. 6. Debt resolution and financial restructuring. Given Zimbabwe's significant external debt, Chamisa has voiced the importance of working with international institutions like the African Development Bank to clear arrears. He also frequently stresses the need for transparent and efficient use of national resources to avoid further financial mismanagement. Chamisa's economic vision offers hope to millions who have witnessed years of economic instability. By prioritizing self-reliance and nurturing key sectors like agriculture, education, and technology, he lays the groundwork for a more inclusive and sustainable Zimbabwean economy. His outlook encapsulates an ambitious yet realistic roadmap, aligning closely with his Christian social conservative principles which emphasize integrity, stewardship, and community upliftment. While the path forward is fraught with challenges, Chamisa's vision provides a framework that resonates with Zimbabweans yearning for stability and growth. Nelson Chamisa's journey, marked by notable achievements and personal sacrifices, continues to inspire hope and provoke curiosity. From his rise as a young political leader to his broader pursuits in law and family life, he remains an influential figure in Zimbabwe. His lifestyle in 2025 reflects a man finding harmony between public expectations and personal values, supported by a modest $6 million net worth achieved through his diverse endeavors. As Chamisa steps back from active party leadership, many wonder what the future holds for someone with such an enduring commitment to reform and progress. Whether he re-enters politics or redirects his focus, his legacy as a resilient advocate for democracy, faith, and modernization endures. What would you want to see next from a leader like him? Share your thoughts and join the conversation.